Hey, you guys. Welcome in. All right, this is my first time going live from the thing. I'm trying to figure it out. Hold on. I hope everyone is doing well. All right, so this video is basically going to be a video about how Saturn is impacting you through your rising sign. Okay. I do have my notes over here. So we're going to go through each sign, and we're going to talk about how it's impacting you through your rising sign. Okay. We're going to use Western astrology. So your rising sign would be your ascendant sign. All right. Now, let's just jump right into it, you guys. What does this Saturn retrograde mean for you? Okay. Now, Saturn already just switched to Pisces. And I know we talked about that a little bit at the beginning of the year already. And Saturn switched to Pisces in March. Okay, so Saturn is like the father planet, right? The planet of lessons. Even when you think about Capricorn energy, it's that hard working energy, that reward from putting the time and putting that work in. So when it's shifting, it's going to be something that's very impactful. And we haven't been in a Saturn and Pisces. This is the first, it hasn't been in Pisces in 27 years. Okay. So that's a long time. And even just thinking about such a big cycle like that, the energy shift is going to be so drastic. Even with thinking about we're in year 2023. So it hasn't even done that since the 90s. Like, what? Think about that. Like that right there is just something for food for thought right there. Okay. So ponder on that thought and think about two Pisces as a sign. They're very two different. We got water and earth, right? So this is something that could be very it's gonna be something that's very extremely felt, right? And a lot of people are feeling this. It's like the divine daddy giving out lessons, right? Also too, let me see where I'm at on my notes. Now when you think about retrogrades is like our step backwards, our time to reflect, go within, see who we are, right? It really paints that into more of a perspective of who we are as a person, and analyzing how we do things, especially with it being Saturn. And when you look into your natal chart, we're going to break it down for each rising sign and what house it's in. But depending on what house it's in, this energy could be highly affecting you. Like mine is in my fourth house because I'm a Sagittarius rising. So we're going to get into that. But for Sagittarius rising, it's in the fourth house. And for me, the fourth house is, well, not just for me, for everybody, but the fourth house is about home, stability. And I've been dealing with a lot of different things with my family, with home, moving, things like that. So it definitely has a huge impact. Okay. Also too, it was switching from Aquarius to Pisces. So that also is a very different energy. Okay. And this is like, this retrograde is giving us the moment to catch up with who we have become and what experiences we have moved through along the way, and looking at how it changes us, how we've grown, things like that. Now, briefly, Saturn in Pisces is, I keep burping, y'all, excuse me. But Saturn in Pisces is also to like thinking about that flow with limitation, right? So the Saturn is that limitation where it's like we're getting to see, okay, even the depths of things, like, oh, excuse me, y'all. Because Pisces is like that space of oneness, is deep, it's like esoteric knowledge, the dissolution of boundaries. So it's kind of like very different, basically. And I basically said that, right? We are learning really to support ourselves spiritually whether through boundaries, structure, to bring our imagination into form, artistic expression, and also to gaining responsibility for our mental and emotional health. And that is something that I've really been seeing very evident, where a lot of people are gaining a lot of emotional intelligence, and also to our resilience, is really aspected with this placement, and really just to of connecting with the collective overall. Like we're all connecting with the Pisces energy. Okay, so we're gonna start with Aries rising. Okay, so Saturn in Pisces is a deeply inward chapter for you, Aries. This time speaks to contemplation. This time speaks to completions, surrender, clearing, and rebuilding your connection to the divine through stripping away what is no longer supporting you. As Saturn retrograde sweeps through your 12th house, which is also ruled by Pisces, it journeys through the underworld of the subconscious, looking towards your patterns, belief systems, and emotions that sit within your psyche and influence your experience in unhelpful ways. It matters little whether these belong to you, your parents, your family, or the collective. Offer yourself the space and silence that allows for introspection. Okay, so if you are an Aries rising, you really want to be able to take this time, and even too, if you can look at your rising sign and any like stelliums you may have in your chart, because that's going to be a highly aspected energy. But the Aries rising, you really want to look within, see what is it that you may have been ignoring subconsciously, or just moving past and not addressing. Okay, where was I at? Explore what energetic and emotional boundaries mean to you, right? That energy of not just settling and taking things, teaching people how to treat you, and building healthy and strong boundaries. Um, while we are in the 12th house, we are attuned to the collective consciousness, where separation ceases to exist. While there is a beautiful sense of oneness here, the gifts found in this oneness can only be offered when there are boundaries in place to differentiate what is you and yours from others, right? And this is also too, like, for the Aries rising, you coming into your own person and like who you want to be, where you like you stepping into, okay, well maybe your family did this, but you're moving on a different path, and this is what you're gonna do, right? Also to the energy, I was picking up on the energy of like removing generational curses and things like that, like things where you may not even know why you do it, or what motivates you to do it. You just kind of do it because it's like second nature. It's just something that was in your family type of energy. um you don't need to take on everyone else's emotions, nor do you need to hold the weight of expectations, fears, or anything that is not yours. um this will really teach you too, as the Aries rising, to look inward first and see, okay, well, am I okay? Because you could be more so somebody who looks outward more on others, checking on others, and this is like that introspective, like what gives me peace, what makes me feel at home. All right, so that's for Aries rising. For Taurus rising, when you think of your future, Taurus, where do your thoughts take you? When you think of your future of the collective, what is your place in that? As Saturn sits in Pisces, this retrograde invites you to reflect on your sense of responsibility to your future and your community. What are your larger than life visions? Really just focusing on like your goals. What is it that you want to bring into fruition into this 3D realm, y'all? This is Mercury retrograde. I can't talk. I could not talk. We got so many planets retrograde. I might try to do another one of these, with either the Neptune retrograde or however. But yeah, Taurus rising. As Saturn sits in Pisces, this retrograde invites you to reflect on your sense of responsibility to your future and your community. What are your larger than life visions, and how can the Saturn realms of perspective, effort, discipline, responsibility, and focus support these visions? So you could also be just changing up your routine, how you do things. Also, too, it's a aspect of you really being disciplined to chase after those goals that maybe you've been putting on the back burner, and really taking action. There's a beautiful connection to the community with Pisces swimming through your 11th house that holds an intuitive knowing and empathy for what the collective needs to move forward and how to be that for them. So even with this placement as a Taurus rising, you could even be getting into tarot or spiritual messages and get, because you can tap into that energy right now of seeing, okay, what is that energy, what's going on in the collective, and you can feel that. You could be feeling it very deeply. Also, too, if you are already empathic, it's going to be even more heightened. This transit is asking you to balance this empathy and care for your community with caring for yourself so that you may show up with your gifts to give. Also, too, Taurus rising, you could be gaining new spiritual gifts or discovering new spiritual gifts that you may not have known you had. All right. Also, here we have reflect on emotional boundaries and energetic hygiene. Okay, so maybe you used to hang out a lot, be around a lot of people, and now you're more sensitive to the energy, so you're not so open like that, or you're more of a homebody at this moment instead of being in the scene or being around people. You're more so introspective because you're realizing how impactful it can be to have people in your energy, in your space. Also, too, how can you build yourself up in a way that allows you to relate to the needs of your community without being overwhelmed, without being drained or confused in your direction? Okay, this is what Saturn is offering you guys. And essentially, too, a sense of balance when it comes to you and the collective energy. All right, the next one is going to be Gemini rising. Gemini rising, Saturn in Pisces is inviting you to master your career, ambition, sense of authority, and your reputation. Okay, Gemini during this retrograde, allow yourself to reflect on the last few months. How has your sense of responsibility changed within your career? When you think of ambition, where do your mind, body, and emotions take you, right? You could be gaining a new sense of ambition as well, or even just analyzing how you go after things, how you attune to your ambition and your goals and the things that you do. Saturn represents the need to realize one's innate potential. Okay, this is a time to challenge yourself. Take responsibility for your path, goals, ambition, and structure, not in a way that drains or depletes you, but in a way that serves you, serves your vision, serves your fulfillment, and serves the dreams that are yours to live. Okay, so also too, with this placement, as a Gemini rising, you could even be noticing new things that, okay, well, this thrives me more. I didn't even realize that, or this is something that inspires me, right? You deserve to be supported in the building of your empire. And Saturn desires to be that support for you, even at first, if it feels heavy. Okay. While the retrograde can slow things down, allow yourself first to reflect upon your career path and what you want for yourself, so that once Saturn turns direct, you can step forward and clear and inspired. Also, too, it's like you could even be switching career paths and doing a whole new thing, or switching up your whole career overall on a whole new wave, right? A whole new direction. Now, for Cancer risings, this is a physical. I can't say that word, y'all. My bad. This is a physiological. Why is Mercury doing me like that? All right, this is a chapter about philosophy for you. For the Cancer rising, Saturn in Pisces holds an opportunity to rebuild your greater understanding of both the meaning of life and your place in it. This retrograde invites spaciousness so that you may reflect upon and integrate your many years of experience in this world. You can then come to a more nuanced understanding of how to find meaning in everything. And Cancers too, at this very moment with it during your season, you can feel this very deeply on an emotional level too. Um, where was I at? Whether it's found through studies, travel, or a new relationship with spirituality. It is an invitation to expand and define your beliefs so that you may support you as you move through the world. The doorway to the divine that Pisces embodies can be supportive at this time in establishing your belief systems. Also, too, you could be creating like a whole, like you could be switching your whole belief system up, being more in tune with like the reaction of things, the cause and effect of things, sitting back noticing how when you do this, this happens, or like that type of energy. And also to like the law of attraction could be significant for you guys, right? You could be switching up how you manifest. Also too, it's like whether you seek meditation, embodiment work, creative expression, whatever it is going to connect you to your spirituality on a more deeper level. Okay, even with this placement too, with a Cancer rising, you could even be switching your spiritual beliefs or being more open to new beliefs and expanding and broadening your beliefs. Okay, now for my Leo rising, for the Leo rising is to journey through one's inner shadow and face what sits within the discarded parts of us isn't easy. Yet sometimes that is the path calling us, right? You're looking into the depths, right? You guys could even be clearing up karmic debts, seeing things that subconsciously you didn't notice that you did, like shadow aspects, where it's like, oh, well, I may not like that about myself, or I never even noticed that I did that, or I came off that way to people. Saturn retrograde invites you to be vulnerable as it peels back your layers so you can sit with what lies underneath. To witness parts of yourself you may have disowned and cast into the shadow so that you may reach for acceptance and reclaim yourself piece by piece. And you also, that's the energy of self-actualization as well and full self-acceptance too. There is a transformation taking place around your relationship to power, control, compulsions, attachments, addictions, sex, and finances. You could be noticing to like different things within that. What's motivates you with sex? What motivates you with relationships? What motivates you with your finances? Um, yeah, and even to like your attachment style may be very significant as well right now. Excuse me. This retrograde is an opportunity to witness what has been keeping you in the chains, then powerless and fearful. So you may so that you may rebuild your freedom, power, and light. So for Leo too, it's definitely the energy of like if you could have felt bonded to anything too with the Leo rising, it's like you're breaking free from all those chains or anything that you feel like even to like you could have felt like obligated to do things or obligated to do this, and it's like you're stepping into this whole new energy of okay, well, that really doesn't align with my beliefs anymore, and you could be letting a lot of things go and gaining a lot of new healthy attachments, right? Now for the Virgo rising, Virgo rising, Saturn is the structure that keeps us in place. It is the infrastructure that allows something to be built, remain steady, and expand. It is also dismantling of what is built on an unsteady foundation and cannot stand the test of time. Saturn retrograde is an invitation to feel into the foundations of the relationships around you, whether romantic, business, or friendship. What are these relationships built on? Okay, so for Virgo, you're really looking deep on what is motivating your relationships. This is Virgo rising. What's motivating your relationships? Why are you in this relationship? Why are you in this friendship? Or even career? Like, why am I? What is this? But not so deeply on career, but more so just like your relationship with your career. Um, Also, too, like what are your needs? You could be definitely looking at what do you need to be nurtured within relationships, and has that changed for you? What are your responsibilities? Do these structures feel safe, loving, inspiring? Okay, do they offer you safety? Right, you could even be working on like feeling like root chakra work, needing to balance your root chakra, or gaining a brand new balance within your root chakra. um Pisces is deeply intuitive and tuned into the waters of emotions. Let that part of you reflect on these questions. Let your body answer, let your heart speak. You definitely, even a lot of Virgo risings could be having a heart chakra awakening, like even just an expansion of your heart chakra and tapping into that heart chakra energy on a deeper level of, okay, like I said, like we said, does this feel good? How does this feel? You could have been more so about, I heard production, but you could have been more so about like the product, what's the outcome, and now you're more so of like, okay, well, do I enjoy this? What does this feel like for me? Okay, Libra rising. What is your relationship to everyday structure, Libra? Could self-discipline feel like a language of self-love? Could organization and commitment be a foundation from which you flourish? Right? You could be building up a whole new routine, a whole new daily schedule. Throughout Saturn and Pisces, there's an invitation of great responsibility for the small steps in your life, Libra. The small steps that make up the whole, right? You're noticing the pieces, all the pieces that are coming together to make something. You could have been trying to gain something in your life and you're realizing, okay, well, I'm not gaining this or I'm not getting to this point because I need to do the proper steps, right? You could have been more so on the quick type of things and now you're more so of the building aspect, right? Or even reflecting on the nature of how you used to manifest and things like that. And now you're like, okay, I need to more so build and take it piece by piece. Throughout Saturn and Pisces, there's an invitation of greater responsibility for the small steps in your life. The small steps that make up the big whole. We said that the daily habits, routines, rituals, and schedules that influence the way you feel about yourself, the way you support your body, and the way you feel in the world. Also, too, weight loss or weight journeys could be very significant too for Libra rising. Looking into what is your health routine. You could be even switching up how you're eating. All right, with this Saturn retrograde, getting more discipline on that day-to-day health and wellness. This chapter is a clearing away of inefficient habits and routines for you. Um, and a simplification and infusion of purpose into how you show up in your everyday life. And also too, like a daily taking action of, okay, this I'm gonna do this today because I know it's gonna benefit me in the long run, instead of, okay, well, I need to do this now because I need it right now. That type of energy is the switch. This retrograde is an inspired opportunity to reflect upon how you desire to take care of yourself. The small habits that can support you, the way that you can empower yourself through them, the way structure somehow allows for greater freedom, right? That discipline, this is like that discipline energy of discipline being the real freedom, and also to boundaries. Definitely building up new boundaries for that as well. It's like not letting everybody access your energy, or even noticing how you may have done that in the past and making those changes to your daily routines. Like maybe you used to see and hang out with friends a couple days out of the week, and now it's turning into, okay, well, maybe these 2 weekends out of the month, right? Or even just noticing how you could um, be drained in connections because you may have been overgiven and not giving enough to yourself. All right, next is going to be the Scorpio rising. The Scorpio rising, how is this retrograde affecting you guys? This is an inherent spark of vitality, life force, creativity, and love that lives within us all. As Saturn dances with Pisces, there's an invitation to rebuild your relationship with that vitality, artistry, and expression of love. Even too, painting could be significant, drawing could be significant for you guys. Um, any art form, really, like music, anything that helps you to express yourself, could be very significant for the Scorpio risings. Throughout throughout this retrograde, allow yourself space to reflect on your relationships with discipline, structure, and habits in your artistic expression. Okay, so you could even be in the energy of making more time for your art, right? Or even just spending time on creating things more. So like you could have felt like you didn't have enough time to do that, or you didn't have enough time to do this, and now it's like you're having that time to go ahead and create, go ahead and expand, go ahead and be able to express yourself express whatever it is that you're passionate into the world. Also, too, with this Scorpio risings, you can even be starting like YouTube channels, blogs, things like that, where you're just connecting more with your outer community, or even just like your soul family, things like that. Um, Discipline, effort, and consistency and patience allow you to not only trust in yourself, but to create the very self-expression that you seek. And this could have been something that you were seeking and not even realizing you was missing out on, right? You feel unfulfilled, and this is like you tapping into, okay, what is going to make me feel more fulfilled in the art expression, or whatever, however you are expressing that. Even too, feminine energy could be that very significant as well. That feminine energy of allowing things to come to you, and it's like that energy of you also claiming your rewards, right? That energy of like, okay, I'm gonna get this because I deserve it. It's already mine. You can even be focusing on affirmations at this time, but that would be very helpful as well for Scorpio rising. Next is gonna be Sagittarius rising. Woo, this me, y'all. This me too. Saturn in Pisces is returning home to yourself, right? Because I have Saturn in Pisces. So if you have a Sagittarius rising, you also have Saturn in Pisces. And this hasn't happened in 27 years. So depending on how old you were when the last time it happened, or even if you're under 27, you have never even experienced this energy, right, within your chart. Saturn in Pisces is a returning home to yourself. This time speaks to building security, tending to your sense of belonging, and creating a stable and safe home environment for yourself. And that's like I was telling you guys, like with me, I'm moving. I was going through a lot with my family, a lot of different situations, intense moments where it was like generational curses came up, and healing that through, learning emotional intelligence. Because overall, with the Pisces energy here, you're gaining emotional intelligence on all these levels, right? As Saturn retrograde sweeps through your fourth house, it journeys through the deep inner patterns and belief systems that run through your lineage that were learned in early childhood, right? We learn a lot of things that we do, like we were speaking about earlier, I think with Aries rising. We learn about a lot of things as children, and we kind of just move forward with it. And this is that energy where you could be called to question these things. Why do I do this? Why do I react to things like this? Why is this my habits? Why is this the way that I do things? Okay. And that is that energy where you're like you're switching it up and noticing, okay, well, this is my belief system. I would rather do this than do that. Or just heavy on the belief systems, right? And also to that energy of being authentically you and believing in what it is that you want to believe in without feeling any type of way about it. This chapter is an opportunity to reparent yourself, to create the environment and home that you need in order to flourish. We may have little control over our childhood, although this time is an invitation to nurture yourself in the way that you need it and perhaps still need. And that's something that's very significant, especially in my life. I do a lot of shadow work and things like that, but it's been very evident during this time of mothering myself, fathering myself, parenting myself again, right? Because it's like this is a journey. It never stops. So it's like it's highly aspected at this moment as well. You can also feel, especially like intense emotions about things could be releasing. Now for Capricorn rising, Pisces is swimming through your third house. And this can inspire a poetic and abstract mind, which Capricorn rising you may not have been used to, right? Depending on what you have aspect in this in your chart, but you may have been more so a more grounded thinker, more to the basics, and now you could be opening the horizons. As Saturn ventures through this space in your chart, you are invited to bring practical knowledge, structure, organization, and grounded methods to expressing that artistic mind of yours. So you definitely could be speaking up on things as well and be very opinionated at this time. Also, too, your opinion could be very valued at this time as well. People may be asking you, okay, well, what do you think about this? Or even you just asking yourself, okay, well, what do I think about this? How do I feel about this? Throughout this retrograde, allow yourself to reflect on how you feel about your relationship with learning and how free you feel to communicate your internal world to others. Right? This is that energy too, where you're gaining the freedom of expression without any type of conviction, and not in a negative way, but in a positive way. It's a free. It's more so of a freeing thing for you guys. Um, where was I at? What comes to the surface? What do you desire to build in this area of yourself? This is a time to solidify and ground your mind, whether through studying, reading, finding a mentorship, or engaging a new mode of communication. The desire to do so will find you. Okay. Also, too, this is like the energy where you could begin seeing a lot of signs and omens and synchronicities as well that are leading you to answers on your path. Now, for our Aquarius rising, okay, Aquarius rising, Saturn rules over our earthly experience. It is tangible, physical, and practical aspects of life. It is a hard work, stability, intentional action, and patience. It invites you, my bad, Aquarius, to build structures that will bring you security for years to come. Now, yours is in your second house, and that is the house of finances. You could be rebuilding a whole new business, or revamping the one that you have, or even just revamping your career, doing things that are going to pay off in the long run. This is a really good energy for the Aquarius rising, right? You could be getting a lot of things could start to, you could have been working on something for a long time, and now through this retrograde, you're getting the answers you need. Everything's coming to you. The information that you need is coming to you. You're able to really cultivate things and put it into more so of an action plan instead of just a thought process, right? Saturn in Pisces speaks to, excuse me, y'all. I need a water. Hold on. Let me get some water, y'all. Hold on. Oh, yes, I needed that. Excuse me. All right. Saturn in Pisces speaks to a chapter of increasing your security through resources, material, and psychological. Whether your relationship with self-worth, money, skills, possession, or earning potential. So you could even this is also too something where you're healing. You could be healing abundance blocks, right? You could have had a blocks to abundance, and you're healing that. You're able to see the shadow of that, the deeper meaning of, okay, well, why is it that I'm not here in my career, or and seeing exactly and knowing exactly how to get there. It is how you build. It is how you build your knowledge, increase your finances and earning capability, and tend to your practical affairs. This chapter is about your value beyond your inherent and unquestionable deservingness, simply because you are here, right? This is the energy too, where you guys are like, this is my birthright. This is my birthright. Abundance is my birthright. I deserve it, and that is why you're getting it. Okay. During Saturn retrograde, you are given an inspired opportunity to reflect upon how you view your worth, how you value yourself, and how you perceive your relationship to money. Like we said, given Pisces empathetic connection to the collective, it's not rare to find yourself holding on to too many beliefs, holding on to many beliefs and patterns that aren't yours. Receive from the world around you. Take time back. Ask yourself, what constitutes security to you? What is value to you? Right? You could even be valuing yourself more. You could even like say, be valuing, okay, well, I was worth this yesterday, but I'm worth this today type of energy. Okay. Now, lastly, we have Pisces rising. Okay, so Pisces rising, Saturn in your sign is rebuilding of you, a rebuilding through honest self-reflection. You could be feeling this very, very, very deeply if you're Pisces rising. You could even be having mixed emotions. It could be very triggering in a way too, because you can even be having visions and things like that. A rebuilding through honest self-reflection, grounded and supportive steps and devotion to the person that you are becoming over the identity that you is being left behind. Basically, like you're leaving behind your old self and stepping into your new self. Hold on, you guys, I gotta get the charger. Where's the laptop charger? Hold on 1 second. It is good. Okay. I'm back, y'all. My bad. All right, where was we at? Let me go back to my notes. But yeah, for Pisces rising, you really could just overall too just be gaining this new sense of self, new sense of identity. Not just identifying yourself to what you feel you should be or how you feel you should be, but actually like, okay, well, who do I want to be? Who do I want to show up as? And embodying that energy. There is an opportunity present to come into an understanding of who you are with greater depth than you've experienced before, to learn what makes you uniquely you, and to spend more time grounding and integrating this emerging you into your highest self. As Saturn retrograde over the years, over the next, I'm talking about over the years, over the next several months, invite yourself to reflect upon the last few years. Prior to moving into your sign, Saturn was transitioning your 12th house, journeying through the hidden depths of your consciousness and transforming your sense of identity and individuality. After this metamorphic death of self, you have arrived to your rebirth and rebuild, right? This is that death, like the death card energy in the tarot. How have you transformed? What identity is being left behind and who remains? Okay, so that's all the signs. But for Pisces overall, you're definitely looking at who have I become? And what is like, you could have things where you're releasing and letting go of things that maybe you were holding on to, where it's like you were having blockages because you were trying to hold on to a past version of yourself. And now you're being able to just fully authentically fall into this new you, right? And it could feel very good, very freeing, very releasing. Now that is all the signs. Remember, I did it by your rising sign. Okay, so and this actual retrograde is lasting from, it started on June 17th and it's going to end November 4th. So it is a little bit of time where this energy will be very prevalent. Okay, and it's very much felt. Okay, the collective has been feeling it, and that's why I decided to do Saturn first, because that is a very heightened energy. But yeah, so think about these things, you guys, and journal the questions down. Look into those questions, write those things down for yourself, and even come back on November 4th and see, okay, how has that even transformed? Because you could be going through, all signs could be going through a very intense transformation into integrating this energy into your life, right? Into this earth school, into this experience. All right. I love you guys. Love yourself. I will see you guys in the next one. Down below are all my July specials if you want to book a reading with me. Don't forget, I do collective readings on my other channel, Divine Golden Intuitions. And yeah, you guys, I love y'all. Peace out.